Today we are headed to Ybor City, a place I haven't been in like 30 years, which is in Tampa. We are on the Cuban Sandwich Challenge, where Rich and Dawson are going to eat 3 different Cuban sandwiches, see what they like, what they don't like, and then we're gonna come back and make one so that I can enjoy it, because being gluten and dairy free, I can't really just stroll into a restaurant and eat a Cuban sandwich. I'm very used to watching people eat and telling me what it tastes like. But eventually, there's a Cuban in my future. Do you like Cuban sandwiches?
I love Cuban sandwiches. One of my favorite sandwiches, to be honest.
Well, you're going to eat a lot of them.
3 of them, to
yeah.
be exact.
And do you have an empty stomach?
I do.
You ready?
We're going 3 different Cuban sandwiches. I picked the best one in the city. Well, what's traditionally the best one in the city. I picked the most unique one in the city. And then I picked the one at the bakery that bakes the bread for all the different restaurants in the city. So we got a good mix. And you know the one thing I'm most interested in?
What?
Salami on a Cuban.
I love a good salami.
Tampa Cubans have salami on them, and I've never had a Cuban sandwich with salami on it. So we're going to find out what that's all about.
Okay, are you excited?
All right, yep, I'm excited. All right, so the wait was 40 minutes at the place. So we opted for the to-go option.
Oh, look at that.
There
I
you go,
don't see
cheers.
pickles. I don't see pickles.
There's no pickles, but there is salami. See, there's salami
Okay,
on
what's your
there, which I've
first
never had salami
reaction?
on a Cuban before.
Don't think about it. First reaction.
That's pretty damn good.
First reaction.
I like how it's cut, too.
The bread is amazing. The bread. There's no pickles on it, though. I do miss the pickles, and I will say the salami is a great touch. I love the salami on it.
So does it have both types of pork on there?
Mm-hmm.
So let me get it close in here. So show me what you got. Oh yeah, look at that. That other type of pork almost looks like it's a lunch meat type sliced pork, but I don't know. That's interesting. Are there pickles?
I just got one. I don't know if it's in there. I don't know if
Okay,
you can see
so
it, but I just got one.
Is it a dill pickle? A sweet pickle?
What? A dill.
Dill pickle. That's what I would assume. Oh, okay. Smelling helps for recreation later. Okay, so both of you, now the way this works is you have to describe to me some of the things, some of the flavors, so that when we go back, then I can make this for myself. I know Rich will help, obviously, because he actually ate it. So tell me, is it really the bread that makes the sandwich, or is it the...
This sandwich, I think, is all about the bread.
Okay. That's not good news for a gluten-free person.
Super crispy on the outside, and then
It's soft on the inside. Yeah, it's very soft on the inside.
Okay, I can make a bread like that.
Yeah. And then the salami adds a really nice spiciness from the traditional ham and pulled pork.
Okay, so we're not talking like hard salami. What type of salami are you talking about? Spiced salami?
No, I think it's just a sliced Italian salami. I mean, it's not. It's got a nice fat content to it
Oh,
too.
it does.
And it adds a
Okay.
great texture and a unique flavor.
Okay, so now we're headed to La Segunda Central Bakery, the bakery that cooks or bakes all the bread for just about every Cuban in Tampa, and they have a sandwich shop. We're going to check that out. That's number 2. La Segunda Bakery. We are here. If they have a sit down, we're gonna stay. If they don't, we won't. We'll do another tailgate sampling. Are you trying to decide on dessert? Do you think it's gonna make it till we get back?
I don't think so. That's why. Because it's hot today, so.
No, I mean, do you think you're not gonna eat it? You're gonna wait until we get back to Howie to eat it?
Why would I eat another Cuban?
I think you should still get something. This one.
Okay, so by the looks of the sandwich on the board, I think this is going to be a better sandwich, and
They got special sauce.
They got special sauce, so I want to know what's going on
And
with this
pickles.
one.
I was missing the pickles on the last
Well,
one.
the other one had
So that was-
pickles, but they had like 2
The
for
other
the
one
whole
had-
sandwich.
Yeah, the other one had 2.
I think that's a slam against the sandwich. I don't know if it's in first place anymore, just
Well,
by the
we'll-
pickle
we'll
content,
have
don't
to
you
see.
think?
The
Yeah,
pickles make it Cuban. in
it
my
does.
opinion.
Okay, so this is your goal with this sandwich for me. I need to know what the special sauce has in it. I need you to really savor that special sauce and convey that.
Yeah, that,
Okay, so this is turning into the tailgate Cuban tasting, because La Segunda is carry out only. So I can already tell this sandwich is a lot heftier than the Columbia. Go ahead, Dawson, you
Okay,
gotta be
let's
honest.
dig in. The unwrapping. Ooh,
Oh, look at that.
Look at that.
this one
Here,
already looks
take the
better.
top off. Let me look at what's
Yeah.
inside.
It's not pressed quite as hard.
Ooh.
Oh, look, we got pickle. Okay, so the quality of meats in this one already looks different.
The other one actually looked like a lot of with lunch meat.
First bite?
Yeah, take the first bite. You get.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay, how does it rate against the Colombian? Or the Columbia?
Better.
Much better? Wow, that meat looks, look at that.
This
Look
is
how
better
great.
meat.
Oh my God, yeah, that's good.
Bite, I like the fact that it's not pressed as much. The bread is a little bit softer on this one. And I feel like the lunch meats are higher quality on this sandwich. Everything just I tasted Genoa salami there. I tasted it. The ham tastes better.
What about the pork? What about the mojo marinated pork?
Yeah, the pork kind of tastes about the same. And the special, I'm going to say the special sauce is mustard with mayo. That's the only thing.
Oh,
it is.
I've made one of those before.
Yeah, it's just mayonnaise mixed in with the mustard, and it adds a good creaminess, don't you think?
Oh, okay, definitely. Okay, so it doesn't have any other tang to it, you don't think, except mayonnaise and mustard? They've not added any honey.
I don't taste anything extra in the special sauce. I think it's just mustard mayo, but it's a great.
I like the idea of a mustard mayo for
If they
creaminess.
want to call that their special sauce, we'll let them call that. But
We're going to call it our special sauce
I
when we're
believe
done with
it's
it.
just mustard and mayo.
Okay, cool.
I like pickles on my Cuban.
And so
Right
dill
from-
pickles, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And this one has like 5, so.
Oh, okay, higher pickle content. Wait, what? We're coming here for a Cuban? Yes, we are.
They took it off the menu.
Now we have to find a third Cuban.
Now you got to have a third. It's got to be 3s.
Okay,
So
let's get the phones out and see what we can do. Okay, so our number 3, see if you can see this, Abella.
number 4.
Yes, our
since we struck
replacement.
out.
Replacement number 3, we're here, and we're gonna go in, and is this one gonna be the best one?
Another one voted best Cuban.
And it's very old, been here forever.
The authentic, well, a classic has ham and salami,
Yeah.
and the authentic has that plus Cuban pork and honey ham.
Okay, let's go with the authentic.
Okay, a small or a large?
Small.
We're in number 3, Abella's. That looks like a,
This is hot and it's heavy. Holy shit.
So I think the difference here is I think this one is going to have lettuce and tomato on it, which is going to be interesting. Yeah, I think it does.
oh, that doesn't look
Looks
bad.
like mayo too.
No,
Yeah.
mayo and all right. So this is definitely going
This
to
is
be.
definitely different,
Alright,
okay.
first bite.
Yeah, you get first bite.
I like it. I don't know how I feel about the mayo.
It's more like a sub than a Cuban.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's 'cause it's
It
got,
tastes like a sub.
okay.
it doesn't have any mustard on it. So it's got only mayo, lettuce, tomato, and then all the usual Cuban. So it's I don't know. I'd call this a Cuban sub rather than a really authentic.
But it's not bad.
Okay, which one is better? Do you think we agree?
I think so. La Segunda.
I think we agree. La
Segunda.
Segunda, the bakery, is the winner.
There you have it. If you're in Tampa and you want a Cuban, go to La Segunda. You're gonna get the best one in town. So you just watched us try to find the best Cuban sandwich in Tampa. And you're probably thinking to yourself, that poor woman, she had to watch them eat all that food. And you would be correct.
But now comes the fun part.
I know, it is incredibly difficult to watch people eat, but I've had almost 17 years of watching people eat food I cannot eat. And this, you are right, the fun part. We are making one for me. You can have some too, but let's be clear. This is really for me to experience a Cuban sandwich because I can't.
And so the great thing about going to 3 different places was we learned a lot.
Yes,
so we
did.
This is dialed in. I am confident that this is going to give you the Tampa Cuban experience.
And I will say that, full disclosure, back in the day when I used to live in Tampa, before I had any food restrictions, I used to eat Cubans all the time. So I have a little bit of a food memory in the back of my head. So I think that's probably going to get triggered with this. We'll see what happens.
So one of the key elements to a traditional, authentic Cuban sandwich is mojo marinated pork. Now, we don't have mojo marinated pork, but you know what we do have, Victoria?
Pressure cooker pulled pork?
Pressure cooker pulled pork. And I will tell you, it is every bit as good as a mojo marinated pork. The full recipe is on our website, gfexplorers.com, and we'll put a link to that video down in the description below.
So what are you up to here with the Instant Pot pulled pork?
Okay, so I've got a screaming hot cast iron pan here. We're going to get some pulled pork into the pan.
AKA mojo pork.
Pressure cooker pulled pork.
But we're pretending it's the mojo pork for the Cuban.
Yes.
It'll be just as good, if
I'm
not better.
going to get a good amount in here. I don't know. This may be more than we need for the sandwich, but you know what? That's okay.
You can never have too much pork.
And this is basically going to be the hot element of our Cuban sandwich. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to heat this up on one side. I'm going to flip it over, and then I'm going to put the cheese on there to melt the cheese in for our sandwich.
Oh. So most people may be thinking, okay, that pork's cooked. I know you're heating it up, but why are you, just throw it in the microwave. Why are you putting it in a cast iron skillet?
That's a really good question. And when I turn it over, you'll see. But we're giving it a crispy element.
And what happens if we say this too in the Instant Pot pulled pork, but what does it taste like if it's not crisped up in a pan?
It tastes great. It tastes, the pressure cooker pulled pork tastes great cold. So good. But crisping it up in a hot cast iron pan or on your Blackstone, whether you're using it for tacos, a Cuban sandwich, just takes it over the top.
And it gives it a texture that you're not going to have straight out of the Instant Pot.
It's going to give you a crunch, which is great for your sandwich.
And more flavor because you're creating some caramelization.
Exactly. Okay, here's what we're talking about when we're talking about crisping up our pulled pork. Turn it over. Oh, look at that.
Look at that. Look at that. Oh my God.
So, caramelization is flavor. And now, actually I'm going to spread this we have a long, thin bun. So I'm going to spread this out. And then I want a little bit of melt on our cheese. So we're going to put our cheese right on top of that. A traditional Cuban has Swiss cheese on it. Now, you're dairy-free. We're not using Swiss cheese, but what are we using there?
We are using goat cheese, which I can tolerate in small doses. Now, part of me was like, oh, let's just not have the cheese on it. But I'm like, oh, let's have the cheese on it. So we're not doing as traditional as we could because we can't do Swiss cheese because I can't eat it. But this is a happy second or better choice or whatever you want to call it.
I will say it's a better choice than having no cheese at all. But that sliced goat cheese is off the hook delicious. And
it is very delicious.
What is it?
It has a great bite to it, and it brings tons of flavor. I would probably compare it to a really sharp white cheddar cheese.
I would agree.
And it's been wonderful. I'm very thankful that I have that to fall back on. I don't eat it much, but when I do, I really do enjoy it.
And not a sponsored post, but where can people find that delicious
Trader
cheese?
Joe's, the only place in the country, and we have traveled around the country, that we have found sliced goat cheese. It is not inexpensive. It's $6 a package, but it's so good, and only at Trader Joe's. And it's at every Trader Joe's we have been to, which is a lot. Okay, are we ready to go in?
Yeah, I think we're ready. Let's jump into it. Let's talk about what we're doing. So the first thing, of course, that the reason you couldn't participate in the Cuban challenge or the Cuban search was the bread. So we make our own baguettes. We'll put a link to the video in the description, the full recipes on our website, gfexplorers.com. But we did make our own bread specifically for the Cuban sandwich. This is our baguette.
And so it's very dry right now. Well, it's not really dry in itself. But
It is lightly toasted.
But what we need is our special sauce. So if you were paying attention to previous in the video, that La Segunda has a special sauce, and we determined it was basically mayonnaise and mustard.
Yeah.
So we did mayonnaise and mustard with a little bit of grainy mustard in there too.
To give it a little bit of texture. Now, the sauces in the video, it's very interesting how people approach sauce in a different way. La Segunda, definitely the mayo, nice and creamy. Colombia was very traditional. It was just a yellow mustard. And then Abella's went a completely different route. They didn't use mustard at all. They were just mayo.
Mayonnaise, which is like a sub. So which would have been really good. So I'm not sure that's enough on there. I may put a little bit more, but I think we're okay.
Yeah, I think that's probably going to be good because the sandwiches that we tried only had mayo on one side.
I know, but you know how I am with mayo.
So now we're going to put in our pork and our cheese. No, and we have some nice crispy edges there. And let's get it spread out so the cheese and the pork cover the whole entire sandwich.
That's a lot of pork.
That is a lot of pork. Now, you bring up a good point, though, because one of the sandwiches had hardly any meat on it. La Segunda.
Where's the meat?
Where's the meat? You never want to ask where the meat is.
Was that where's the beef, actually?
And now,
Salami?
One of the things I found the most fascinating was the Tampa Cubans traditionally have salami on them.
And I have never had anything other than a traditional Tampa Cuban. So to me, salami has
always been there. Yeah. And you could tell in the video earlier that I loved the salami. I thought it was a great touch. Ham, thinly sliced. We went with just a plain tavern style ham. No honey baked ham. No mesquite flavor. Just a straight baked ham. And then the most important part,
dill pickles. And we are putting 4 on here. We want a pickle in every bite.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay, that guy's kind of big, so I'm going to replace him with the smaller one. There. Okay, pickle in every bite. And now I will let you have the honors of cutting it.
I'm going to cut it like they do Colombia style here on a kind of an extreme angle. Okay, here we go.
Are we ready?
Cheers.
Cheers.
Here we go.
Oh my God, I'm going in.
Wow. Okay, that just took me right back to Tampa. What do you think?
Yes. For me, back to Tampa about 35, 40 years ago. That was so good. So full of flavor. I am going to say it needed more mayo and mustard because I'm a mayo mustard freak. And I'm actually going to put more on. But it was absolutely delicious. Oh, the dill. I mean, how can you? Yeah, see, look at that. How can you not have dill pickles on this? It's just, I feel bad that you guys had a sandwich with hardly any pickles. That's just so wrong. It gives it such a bite and an acidity that you need with all this meat. Yeah, so it needs to be. See how it's dripping off the back? That's what it needs. Look at that.
Wow, I don't even have any more words.
It was worth the wait. It was worth the torture. And I definitely, this is going on our list of things we're going to make regularly. It is so freaking good.
It's just, the combination of meats and flavors, it's just a classic sandwich.
It's absolutely wonderful. So we have to do this more. I like this. I go out, I watch you eat, we come back, we make it.
Yep.
I'm totally okay with that because I get to discover things I wouldn't normally be able to discover. So thank you for being the family taster.
Yep.
I really appreciate that.
So your lesson for the day is seek out traditional, local, regional foods and try more than one because they all do it differently.
Yeah, that way you get the full spectrum of what that dish is for that regional area. And it's fun. You get to eat a lot more. So
and then you can come back and you can make it your way we've taken things from kind of something from each shop that we got out of here.
Yeah, definitely. And it makes it more fun. So, and more delicious.
Well, thanks so much for watching and taking the Cuban tour of Tampa with us and making your own Cubans. You definitely need to do this.
Yes, definitely. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. We really appreciate it, and so does YouTube. And if you like this video, give us a thumbs up.
Absolutely.
That's wonderfully appreciated. And all the recipes that we do are on gfexplorers.com. So the ingredients that we put on this sandwich will be listed in the description below. We're not doing a full-on recipe, but it'll give you a guideline so when you make your own Cuban sandwich, you'll know what ingredients at least to start with. And until next time,
Happy eating.